Before we start Elena's training, I would like you to bring some special equipment near you. First of all, the participants of this training will need a timer. You know, you can use your timer on your cell phone in order to count count the time. Also, you will need a copybook and a pen near you in order to put down some stuff that Elena is gonna ask you. Ideally, you will need a mirror. Maybe you can use the selfie camera on your cell phone, and also you will need your telephone in order to enter the Mentimeter. You will have the link in the chat while Elena is gonna have her training. So please make sure you have all this equipment near you while Elena is gonna have her training. So our first trainer, as you met already, Elena, is the founder of leadership accelerator called Empower of Training. Since 2011, she's training and coaching people to become more effective and successful in achieving their goals, contributing to leaders' development, working in such international companies and organizations as Success Resources, Techstars, Vattenfall, and Impact Hub, and also all known ISAC. Elena had a pleasure to empower more than 5,000 people from more than 20 countries during her experience, and she also is a life student in her DNA, participating at world-class known programs from Success Resources, Mind Valley Academy, Copenhagen Business School, University of California, and others. Today, Elena is leading one of the biggest HR/IS transformations in Swedish company Vattenfall, with big count of 20,000 employees, and she is excited to explore new ways of working in the future and new skills that leaders should develop in order to create a better place to live in and to empower new generations. Dear participants, I am delighted to invite now Elena on the stage. Elena, you have the mic.
Oh, thank you, Valeria. I was listening to all of that and I was not believing it's all me. I'm actually quite a humble person. So thank you very much, everyone, for joining us today. And I want to thank you also a lot, all participants for, making this Sunday, dedicating really for personal development. This is an area of my passion and I'm really, really excited to see you all here. Thank you very much for organizers and I think fantastic team that is staying behind and making sure that we have a very good, connection today, that everything is working. We're over this Zoom masters. You are, during this kind of times, I think you are the gods here. So we are really dependent on you. Thank you very much for your support. And thank you for having me here. As I said, I'm really excited to be here. And I think that we're living in the times that are really turbulent and really unpredictable, and I would say even uncertain. And I know that maybe this is not the start of the session that you, or not the start that you would like to hear from the beginning of the day, but I really would like to emphasize this because during this pandemic times, I think many things have changed. It changed us, it changed the way we're living, the way we're working, it changed pretty much everything we know as usual. And of course, today, many people who are studying, working, you notice that many things have been putting more and more pressure on you. So in this session, I would like for us to really a little bit connect more, but what is more important, to boost your future to the next level. And I'll just try once again to share my screen. So let me share. I hope you can see it now. Let me please know if you can see. I see people are not nodding. Thank you so much. So what we are doing today, we're really jumping into a session where I would like you to experience some, boosting of your energy, but also following through their, more determination and more focus about what really do you want to do in your future, and understand your role as a potential leader in that transformation that is definitely coming in our today's world. I do not think we'll have much time today for questions because we have 1 hour. And to be honest, guys, I really prepared a lot of stuff for you, but I needed to cut even a lot of things to make sure that we manage in 1 hour, and I'm a bit afraid that we will not. But let's see. So, talking about boosting your future to the next level, I want really for us to first of all, boost our energy in the morning, because this is the start of the day, and your day depends on how do you start it. If you read, the life of or description of the successful people, how do they live their habits, you know that the morning depends on how they spend their first hour. It's really defining how the whole day will be. And that's why I want you to have a very nice day, boosted with energy, and of course to keep this energy through the day, because you need it. It's your last day of the conference, and I know it's Sunday, so many of you, it's very early. Maybe not very early, but still it's early, and you could have a bit lazier morning, but you decided to be here. So this is my gift to you. And I want to share with you that energy is not only about, doing activities like doing sport. It's also about oxygen. It's about how you breathe. And that's very important because, as you know, the fire would not exist if there would be no oxygen. That's why I want to boost your body today with some oxygen and share with you some breathing methodology that was developed by so-called Iceman. And he is very famous because by his experimental way of living. So he defined that the breathing can actually really open new potential or new capabilities of your body. What he is doing, he can swim, for example, more than 100 meters under the ice in very cold water. And many people even can't stay like 10 seconds because it's just start cramping in your legs and so on. So he was able to do that, and he's doing things that many doctors always were saying that it's impossible. It's like for human beings, it's impossible to experience something like that, being in that kind of cold environments for so long. And what is more important, on a conscious level, he is able to manipulate his immune system. That was something that doctors for many centuries were saying is just not possible. So this is something that this guy is really like, breaking through. And I want to share one small thing that he's practicing in order to also boost your breath. But before we do that, please open your phones. Where is your timer? Or just take your clock if you have, your watch. And I want for us to do a little experiment today in the morning and see if indeed his methodology is so effective. So what we're going to do right now, I want you to ask, to start with a breath. So you will inhale, and then when you exhale, please afterwards start counting how long time you can, hold the breath and do not take another breath in. Is it clear, the instructions? Just please wave if it's yes. Yeah, I see. Yeah, good. So basically we'll breathe in, you will exhale, and then just hold it as it is. Do not breathe again in. And just let's count how many seconds you'll be able to hold in, that position. So let's prepare morally. And on countdown 3, you will inhale, exhale, and start counting. So 1, 2, 3. Inhale and exhale. And start counting. If you don't have the timer, please just count through yourself. 1, 2, 3, and so on. And once you'll not be able to hold any more in that kind of stare, please remember your number, but I really advise you to put it down and written. That's why you have a copybook. Exactly. Yes. So please, once you are not able anymore to hold it, but please also don't force yourself to the maximum, like maximum. I don't want you to pay today, okay? So as much as you can, but do not force you to the very, very limit. All right. So I see that majority of you are writing down the number. Very good. If you're still doing the exercise, it's fine. So please continue. And I'll just in parallel start explaining what we're going to do as the next step. Sorry. So now what we're going to do, we actually will have a guided exercise from Wim, this Iceman, and he will guide you for how to breathe and prepare for the same exercise as we did just right now to hold your breath, but we will then count once again for how long you will be able to hold it. And there is an exercise he's guiding. It's very visual, so I hope you'll really connect to it. So now, please, I hope that everyone is now, of course, ready to the next step. And we will now listen to his guidance. Please listen carefully. Do not stress, just relax and enjoy what he's saying and just follow it, all right?
Guided breathing session. Relax to the deepest. Lie down, sit down, whatever it takes, relax. Are you ready? Here we go. Round number 1. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out.
Breathe out through your
Go
mouth.
with the flow of the breath. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, into the belly, into the chest, and let go. Like a wave. Make it circular. Fully in and letting go. Just keep on going. No pause between inhalation and exhalation. Ten more. Fully in, let it go. Five more. Let's give it all we got. Last one. Fully in and let go. All right. 1 minute breath hold from now on. Be
Hold
in
it
this
for 1 minute.
moment.
It's fine.
Let the body do what the body is capable of doing. Be aware of your heartbeat. Slow it down and just be in this moment. Let that relaxation spread down to your toes, into your fingertips, to the base of your neck and head. You are almost there. Do you want to prolong your breath hold? Pause the video now and continue when you feel the urge to breathe.
Just remember
Okay,
the number.
recovery breath in.
You already
5,
can't
4, 3,
hold the breath.
2, 1. Take a deep breath in.
So, as you noticed, probably majority of you have been able to either, hold for the entire minute that was on the screen. And I want you to write down the number that you was able to, kind of hold for the second time on your notes. But what is more important, please write down in the chat if the time that you have been able to hold your breath on the second exercise, on the second kind of hold, was bigger than the first time. So please write it in the chart. All right. And now I forgot where is the chat. It's enabled because I can see it. Okay.
It's not enabled.
Now I guess I can see it. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. All right. Yeah, 25 seconds in the first and in the second time, 1 minute, 17 seconds first time, 38 seconds in the amazing. Yeah, this is the chat. Thank you. All right. So I see that some people definitely had bigger number. Elena, we are allowed to record it? Yes, of course. Sorry, I just now saw the question. Yes, it's bigger. So I hope that majority of you, and please guys participate. So write in the chat if it was bigger or not, because it's really interesting. I see that majority of people who at least wrote mentioned that it is bigger. And I think that from all the experience that I had with other participants, that number is usually bigger. And that shows us that indeed, the breathing exercise is really, allowing you to be on the next level and boost the capacity of your body. And this is what we are doing today. We are boosting, just give me a second. Yes, we are boosting the energy level and we are boosting the capacity of our body today. But now you have some energy, and I want that energy to go in a certain direction, because you can have a lot of energy, but if you will be going just in the circles, you'll never kind of go really further than where you are today. And I really want you to get that possibility and that energy that we got now, and that this enlarging of your capabilities of the body to the next level. So for this, we will do the following thing. I want you to set today the intention for the entire day. And usually when you have the intention for the day, you define your future. Because if you do not have clear vision of where you want to be, probably you'll not, achieve any of the big things that you want in your life. So defining the intentions and having the clear directions is actually defining what your future will look like in the coming times. So for this, I want to share with you also another practice that I'm doing also every single morning. And how many of you are practicing some meditations during these times? Do we have some people who practice in meditation? Yeah, I see some people rising up hands. Thank you so much, guys. If not, there is nothing wrong with that. I mean, I also was not practicing meditation until I was 25, and I was not sure if I need that or not. But what is important is I want you, through a part of the meditation I'm doing every single morning, to actually visualize your future. And this part we're going to practice today. So please also, during the meditation, close your eyes, because then, you shut down a little bit of this noise around you, and it will be much easier for you to concentrate on this guided voice during the meditation in order to visualize your future, or this day, because we will not try to visualize your entire future, but just do one step at a time. So here we go. Let me just find the right timing, because we don't need the entire time. Yes, here we are. Close your eyes, please listen, enjoy, relax, and visualize your future.
Take a moment to reflect upon your plans for today. Visualize yourself moving through the day, seeing the day going even better than you have imagined. You make the most out of every situation. And handle it with confidence and dignity. The universe is out to do you good. See only opportunities coming your way. Every day, you are given an opportunity to be how you want to be. To be your best self. Today, right now, in this moment, you are alive and you have all the energy, strength, and passion you need. Feel yourself completely recharged, calm, and confident. Stay here for as long as you need. When you are ready, take your hands on your heart. Thank the universe. Open your eyes. Get out there and have a bright and wonderful day.
So guys, it's probably first experience for some of you, but I hope that you had the opportunity to a little bit visualize how you would like the ideal day or the day of today go, and how you will, how you see yourself during this day. And I really, send even my personal vibes to all of you to really have a very nice, amazing, productive day, because I know that being in the conference the whole day is not easy, but I know that you already made it through yesterday. So you will do it today. And of course, we'll have a lot of nice things to learn from, and of course, connect with a lot of people. So today, what we did so far, we get some energy boost, and we also identified and kind of defined our intentions for the future, for at least today, do one step at a time. And now what we need, what I noticed that what successful people have is that the difference between successful and unsuccessful people are usually that unsuccessful people say that I'm going to do something or dream about achieving a certain, lifestyle, but successful people do. They take actions. And the only thing that really makes the difference between a successful and unsuccessful person is if you take actions, because actions are equal to results. You can write it down. It's really a powerful thing if it sounds very simple. Actions are equal to results. And for making sure that you take actions, I actually want you to ask to take some actions right now. So please stand up, and I'll explain what we're doing next. Please stand up, everyone. I see some people sitting, so please stand up. We'll do some actions right now, and I really want you to be active today. Thank you so much. Thank you for really taking this journey. All right, it's not anything heavy. It's not anything, hard or that you'll not be able to do. If you can't stand up just because, I don't know, sitting in the in the handicap chair, that I understand. But otherwise, please stand up and follow my instructions. It's not anything hard or, as I said, too dramatic. Now we will just do some exercises as if you would prepare to a run. So I want you to, put one leg in front of you. So let's say we start from the right leg. You put it a little bit in front of you. You're a little bit, bouncing. So you need to be a little bit bouncing like this. Okay, good. So, and your arms, this is very important. So please have your arms on 19 degrees like this. Okay, like this. Good. So 2 arms, 1 in front, same as your leg which is in front, and be ready to to run. So we will have some music today, and I want you really to be very, very active during this music and really run as much as you can. Oh, sorry, a little technical thing. I hope you're still ready, even though we need some time to find our music. Oh, sorry, something doesn't work here. Oh no, the music is not there. All right, no worries. I have some plan B. Just a second, give me a second to find the music. I think it's this one. Come on. It's loading, guys. Okay. Well, if the music will not work, we'll just do it without music, but I really kind of would like us to have the music, because then you feel much, more motivated to do it. All right, no, it doesn't work. Okay. Exit the page. Okay, so let's prepare. Just prepare as you would run. Okay, now your 90 degrees arms like this. Okay, and let's start running. So as much as you can, as if you would run like this, and please run a little bit. Yeah, let's go forward. Okay, and faster, and a little bit faster. All right. Okay, a little bit more, guys. Very, very good. And relax. Okay, and now on another leg, on another side. So now if you started with the right one, start now with the left one. So change your position, be ready again, and ready, steady, go. And exercise a little bit. Give some energy, guys. It's morning, so we need to wake up, right? All right, and a little bit faster, and even a bit faster. All right, good. And relax. And now you can shake a little bit your hands and your legs. And please have a seat. All right, so let's see if my presentation is still working now. So it's not, yes, it's working, very good. All right, let's just take some breath too. Okay, good. So what we did so far, we just tried to energize ourselves and boost our day. We identified the future, our intentions for today. And next week, we also took some actions and also actually contributed to the high level of energy, because when you want to do things, please always remember that you need to do it in your peak stage. So what we did right now, we also helped ourselves to, be on our peak stage to bring some more energy, because when energy is higher, you also remember things much better. So that's of course very helpful for you during the session. All right. Sorry, after running, I did some just sip of water. And now we were talking so much about successful people, because I believe that today in these uncertain times, we need to embrace some new features of being successful people, and in order to, drive the change. And therefore, I was thinking like how, I would like to know you better, because of course, now after some boosting of the energy, I would like to jump into our session. And one of the things that I noticed or thought that will be good to do is to get to know you a little bit better, but also connect to the topic of today. And for that, I would like to address some questions. There will be 3 questions that I would like you guys to answer. And these questions are very much connected to the features or characteristics of successful people. So for doing the next exercise, please let's go to the Mentimeter, like menti.com, as you see on this slide, and use the code 9118816 in order to access the Mentimeter. It's a very easy tool. It's pretty much like a survey online if you never used it before. You also have the QR code, so you can scan it with your mobile phone and open it directly. So hopefully any of those works, and it will look something like this. Let me see if I can also move a little bit my screen so I can access it. So this is how you're going to see your Mentimeter. So let's take a few seconds to really access it. All right, I know that it takes a little bit of time. You need the code, so that's why I'm going back. So this is the code 9118816. Somebody is chatting. I hope somebody just wrote it in the chat. Yes, thank you so much. So once you go and once you access the Mentimeter, as I said, there will be 3 questions. One of them is, how much do you consider yourself open to a change? And if you do consider yourself very open, embracing the change, loving the change, then please put something closer to 10, because you strongly agree with this statement. If you think that you actually do not like when things are changing, you are very comfortable with where you are and you would not like to change the thing, so please put something or choose a number that is much closer to 1. If you're somewhere in between, so of course then 5 or 6 is something for you to go. Next question, how much do you feel ready to take proactive actions to solve a problem? What does it mean to be proactive, to take actions to solve a problem? You do not wait for somebody to solve it. You take actions and you try to do it maybe before it becomes a really big problem. So if you're not reactive, but you are proactive, then your answer will be closer to number 10. But if you kind of would like somebody else to solve your problems, or at least, let's say in business environment, you may be expecting your manager every time to confirm that, yes, now you can do the things, then probably it's a bit, kind of closer to 1. And the last question, how much do you consider others' opinions in a project and make people feel heard? It's very, if you always ask others' opinion, if you do consider why do they want things to be in a certain way, then of course, please take an answer that is closer to 10. And if it's you think that in our times we need to take very quick decisions, I need to do it on my own, so then of course choose something closer to 1, right? And submit the answers. Yes, and I know that we already have some answers coming. You can see it on the screen. Also the average. And I would like a little bit to reflect on this graphics, as you say, and that's why I like Mentimeter, that you can see kind of the average per group, but you also can see some peaks. So for example, if we look at the first question, consider yourself open to a change. Some people are very, very close to 10 and 8, I guess, or somewhere around 7. And then of course there are a few answers that are maybe lying between 4 and 5, and that's also fine, because we are different, and some people will drive change and they like the change, and some people want to be where they are because the way they used to do the things worked for them. But I do want to emphasize that in the future that we are embracing, things are unpredictable, and they will be more and more unpredictable. Yesterday, we just also during the Saturday day of the conference, we also discussed about Corona, and that things are a little bit now going better because of the vaccination process. But at the same time, I don't know if you heard, but we have new types of the virus developing now in India that already was proven that on some vaccines, like a person who had 2 shots, it didn't work. So the person actually got the virus. And if this goes again worldwide, it means that we can have another lockdown or another year of restrictions. I don't want to put this negative perspective, but it's just the reality we are facing. And based on what happened last year, it showed that, for example, businesses, and since I'm coming from corporate level, I can really speak about this. Some businesses really embrace the change, and they change the way they are operating. Even the businesses that was affecting the most, like, for example, HoReCa area, like restaurants. And some businesses did actually more than they did before pandemic. But other businesses, they was expecting that, when the government gonna solve my problem, when they will support me, when they will open the restaurants. And they really suffered, and many small businesses actually went bankrupt. And if any of you had this situation, I'm really sorry for you guys, but that's the reality that we are facing. That's why we need to embrace the change and start learning how to act in these turbulent times. Another thing is, when we look at the second score, feel ready to take proactive actions to solve problem. The example I just gave with businesses that was waiting for the government to solve their problem. This is a reactive attitude. You're not taking proactive steps and try to solve the situation that you are in. So always today, it's very important that you take proactive steps in order to solve a problem. And last thing, consider others' opinion in a project and make people feel heard. I would say that majority of you are actually closer to, let's say, right part of the pool. So that's, of course, very, very also positive, because indeed these features are the features of successful people. And I want to show you, give me just a second, I'll switch the screen. I want to show you that there's 3 features out of there's total 16 features that was shared in 2014 by one CEO of, well, let me just actually talk about this, by one CEO of Petra Coach, it's a consulting company, to another CEO who was a New York Times best-selling author of the book The Art of People, and he just gave this kind of card, you know, where there was 16 features of successful, 16 traits of successful person, and he shared with Dave Kerpen, the guy on the left side of the screen. He shared with him this card and said, okay, this is, you know, what we identified during our researches, that this is the features of successful people. And then Dave said that for me, this was always a reminder what values I'm standing for and, you know, what I need to work on. So he always kind of had it on, you know, his kind of desk to see those features, to follow them. And you saw today 3 of them. First, embrace the change versus fear the change. Don't fear the change. It's fine to change and develop, because the change is part of development. Second, successful people take a chance and ask for what they want. So if you want things, you ask for them. Don't, you know, be afraid of asking for things, or somebody will say, you know, don't be afraid of failure, because through failure you also learn. And third thing, successful people listen first and never stop listening. Unsuccessful people talk too much. So that's why we're doing also today a lot of activities, exercises, and not just talking, because this is really important for us to, you know, embrace new skills. And thank you for sharing your answers, guys. I really learned something else about you. I think the Toastmasters International are really proactive, very open-minded, and also listen to others, which is, I think, very important in your environment. And now I would like to actually talk, as you see, that things are changing. We are living in the turbulent times. What is really important that we are learning how to not to stuck in this, you know, environment where we deal with problems, but actually focus on solutions. This is one of the features that is really important for successful leaders to embrace and develop. And I want to share with all of you something that I hope will be really useful, and moreover now in this uncertain times will really support you. I call it PS, or problem solving mindset shift. So we'll jump into that, but before we go through methodology, I want you to take the mirror or open your phone with, you know, the camera, and just look at yourself. Yes, thank you, Valeria. I see you already. Please just look at yourself. What do you see? Catch up the first thoughts that are coming now. When you look at yourself, what do you see in the mirror? How do you feel about yourself? What do you notice? All right, thank you. So now please write in the chat if you notice something negative, like, for example, you know, my eyes are tired, or maybe my nose is small, or my eyebrows are awful, or my hair is like this, like mine. So write down something in the chat if, you know, or write out in the chat if you felt or experienced something thinking about yourself more negative. Or if you felt something positive, also write down, was it more negative or it was more positive? Negative, okay. Guys, I really want you to write down in the chat. Please open it and write it down. Positive. I'm trying and see. Yes, okay. Somebody actually had positive. I love it. But it does not mean that, you know, people who experience the negative thinking, negative, yes, I see. And it's fine, because this is the way how our brain is working. Our brain usually is, yeah, I see more answers. Thank you guys for sharing. It's fine, because our brain is focusing on the negative thinking, because it's very protective, and it wants to see first the negative things. Even when you experience something in your life, first thing you will be focusing on negative things to see what does not work and try to protect yourself. And then you'll see the positive things. But I want to kind of a little bit shift that. So now please look again in the mirror. And I want to ask you to really find out the things that you love about yourself, that you like in your face. that you really see, hey, I'm actually beautiful, right? What things do you like? And be really sincere. You don't need to say if the nose was small or big, now it's the other way around. No, don't lie to yourself. Just find what you really love about yourself. All right. And I'm sure you'll find at least one thing, but I'm sure there's much more. So now you found some positive things. How do you feel about that? I actually would like somebody to share what do you feel right now? Is there a volunteer? Let's see. I need now a little bit of help of Zoom Master and see if anyone raised the hand. Is there anybody who wants to share? How do you feel about, you know, shifting this focus from negative to positive? Do we have anyone who wants to share? I don't see at least the hand, so please let me know if somebody wants to share. And let's be proactive. We just talked about that we are proactive, right? I saw the poll, so don't lie that you don't want to share. All right. Who wants to be put on the spot?
Well, I can break the ice if
yes, please, Valeria.
Well, first time when I looked to myself into the mirror, I felt like I'm a little bit shy to, I don't know, I felt uncomfortable just looking myself. So I felt it like a little bit negative wave in my chest. But then the second time when you ask when you ask me to look into the mirror and find something I like, I felt like I just concentrated on a positive thing. So I was just looking at my smile, and that made me feel like really warm inside. And I felt like I'm not shy anymore, so I'm just looking at my smile like, oh, that's a nice one.
Wow, thank you for sharing. It's such a nice and beautiful experience. Let's give you a round of applause, even if you don't hear yourself. Very good. Thank you so much. Because thank you for sharing, Valeria. I think that this is indeed many people will, you know, feel very much the same, because we are, first of all, we are all trying to see what is not good in us. And this is probably also come from childhood, you know, for many, many, many of us, because our parents were saying, oh, don't do this, or, you know, don't embarrass me when you go somewhere. So we are always kind of controlling ourselves. But in reality, we have so many beautiful things in ourselves. And when you, as you said, when you focus on the positive, you felt empowered. And I want to share with you guys that during my work with this, you know, big transformational project in HR that you heard from my bio, I had many moments actually, when I was not even sure that I'm doing the right thing. It was a really huge thing. It was not only about HR, it was also connected to IT transformation. And of course, I'm not an IT guy. So sometimes I was feeling in the morning so depressed and so kind of, oh, I don't even want to go to my work and, you know, do this job. And the thing was that before pandemics, because that part of the things happened before pandemics, I was going to my job, and before the office, I have a bridge that I need to go through. And this bridge has some arcs. And I was looking at these arcs one day, and I thought, well, they're kind of, you know, big and nice and feel like, you know, the Arc of Triumph. And I decided one day that when I go through this bridge and through these arcs, I'll actually imagine that this is the Arc of Triumph, and only the powerful, really like, you know, high achievers, powerful leaders are going through this arc. And, you know, the thing is, when I started practicing that, no matter how bad I was feeling in the morning about what I was doing, I was going through this arc, and I was feeling at the end of that arc, or the bridge, my shoulders was straight and I was feeling empowered. And the thing was that I noticed I'm not anymore afraid. I feel in control. And I know that, yes, it's hard and I don't know many things, but I'm going to fix it. And that's kind of attitude, exactly as Valeria, you described right now. It gives you, you know, more confidence. As you said, I was a little bit shy, but then you don't anymore felt shy. So that kind of exactly transformation that happens. And I really wanted you to experience this kind of, you know, trick, because this is very important when we talk about problems and solutions. So first time, you know, you're focusing on, let's say, first on problems. But what is important, don't stay very long in that and try to find a solution, because if you'll be only in the problem, it will suck you in. All right, so I prepared for you a methodology, how to shift your mind between problem and solution. And I call this methodology Frank. So let's have our dear friend Frank, you can associate it with Frank Sinatra, and see why, what we need to do in order to shift from problem to solution. First of all, keep factual. I know that many people try to jump into a problem and say, oh, but who was the reason that this happened and why this happened? And they talk about that for hours. Don't do that. Just keep factual. What really happened? Where's the problem? And then it will be much easier to shift to the solution. Second, sometimes it's really, really good to understand not only what is the problem, but what is the reason of the problem. Because if you dive deeper on the level of the reason, you might note that solving the reason and not the problem can actually solve a lot of other problems as well. And also, if you solve the reason, most probably this problem will never come again back. So that's just my advice from the experience that I also have along many big companies working with a lot of transformation. Third, what kind of actions do you need to do in order to solve this problem? So you see, you're already shifting into the solution path, because you don't need to be stuck into the problem and use a lot of energy on talking about the problem. Shift to the action and solution. Fourth, what resources do you need? So you need to understand what kind of people do you need, what kind of connections do you need, if you need money, what resources do you need? And maybe based on resources, you'll understand you need to do some extra actions, because if you don't have money, you need to make money. So then, you see that your plan is growing, and then you become more realistic. And fifth, this is something that many people underestimate, but I really want to share it with you. The key words you're talking to yourself. And as you now did this exercise with a mirror, the way you're talking with yourself is really important. And I want to share a few examples of how to change the way you're talking with yourself and empower yourself by the way you talk. So many people probably, just are saying, I have to go to my job. I have to solve this problem. What if we are changing it and we say, I choose to solve this problem? Do you feel more empowered by that? Even though in reality, it means the same thing at the end, you're going to solve the problem. But the way you talk to yourself gives you more power. And we are used to talk in a way that it's, taking out that power out of us. So I really want to encourage you to change I have to into I choose to. Another example can be, I need to get up very early today for joining this conference, No, tell us, I decide to get up early because I want to learn something new today. Do you feel also how much more empowering is the second version? So please use it as well. And the last one, this one I love, because I used to say a lot, I'll try, because I don't want to promise in a way if I'm not sure 100% that I got it, make it 100%. And so very often we say, I'll try. What if we say, I'll do my best? Because it's very clear to the interlocutor that you are speaking with that maybe it will be not on the level of expectation of your communicator, but you will do your best with resources you have, with the knowledge you have today, with the network you have today, you will do your best. So I really want to encourage you to, use this different, more supportive ways of talking, and use from now on, instead of I will try, I will do my best. All right. And as I said, I call this method Frank because, as you say, it's factual. F, we identify the reason. R, we take actions. A, we identify what do we need as resources. And then we have the keywords. So we have our dear friend Frank, and I will just put a little bit of this music to remind you how one of the famous songs sound, and maybe cheer you up. And when you hear this song, you remember about Frank's methodology. All your problems are gone. You just know that you can do whatever it takes to bring solutions on. In the night, exchange. All right. Okay, so we talked about, sorry, yes, we go forward. So we talked about the transformation. And as I said, there is not much time left, so probably we'll not have much time for questions. Please, if you will have questions, just write them in the chat. I'll try to answer later. But I just want to also share with you one important thing. We're talking about the transformation in this, turbulent times. And by that, you can boost your future to the next level. But to really make a transformation, it requires some leadership skills. It requires you to drive the change, right? That's why I want to talk a little bit about leadership. And you probably all very well know what is leadership about. But I want to share with you a quote from Simon Sinek, because I resonate so much with this quote and I want to share it with you guys so badly. So he said, great leaders have a vision of the future that does not yet exist. And this is about transformation, right? And he said, and an ability to communicate that vision. And I think this is so much resonating now with you guys in Top Toastmasters. So this is, I think, really important, that we're not just creating the future vision, but it's also important to communicate it. Why it's so important? Let me explain based on this picture that you see here. We have different people around us, and let's say we are the leader. So some people, well, let's start from the leader. We can come with a very cool idea of a transformation, of a change, of the new future. And some people will like the idea and they would like to follow the idea. What it means in the long run, they will not probably stick with you, but they will probably, embrace the idea and make something different. And that means that, well, you're not really the leader, but at least they will have maybe their own kind of leadership current. Some people, they can like only maybe the leader and not the idea. And what that means, as kind of friends, you hang out together, but people will never really do anything in order to follow and support your idea. So also, this is not about the leadership. The leadership comes into the picture when we have somebody who follow you as a person and they like your personality, they think that you are very integral, and they also like your idea and they're ready to contribute to the change. So this is where the leadership is coming into the picture, because it's not only about the followers, as on Instagram, you have millions of followers, but there is no message, there is no idea. As long as somebody on Instagram also promote an idea, for example, don't use the real fur, or for example, be conscious about your plastic consumption or things like that, and followers are kind of also following that call, then of course it's about the leadership. But as long as it's not about that, it's just about liking the personality. So going into the kind of leadership things, I want to emphasize 3 things, and with this I think we will finish today. So one of the things, I strongly believe that everyone can be a leader. What it means, if you're today in the team and you have like a manager or somebody else and you're just part of the team and you think, oh, I can change many things today. Bullshit, sorry for my French, but you can change a lot of things. I want to share that, I'm working now in Sweden, I'm living here for 4 years, and I want to share with you that here everyone is a leader. Everyone takes responsibility for the area they are responsible. So if you are a specialist in a certain area, you make the best in your area. You bring the knowledge from that area, and based on those inputs, the manager, whoever needs to take maybe the decision, they make their decision. So it's really important you don't underestimate yourself. And talking about, the generations that are coming now, the young generations, if you are like under 25, you probably really feel that having just a manager who tell you how to do, it's not anymore inspiring. You don't want to, stick to that kind of job and environment. You really want to follow somebody who, inspires you with ideas, who is respecting your opinion as well. And you probably feel more and more today in the work environment that people who have knowledge and expertise, they become the leaders in their sphere. It's not about hierarchy anymore. And talking about hierarchy, I want to say that in the development countries, more and more, we're talking about flat structure. What it means. Yes, we have also managers, but they just play a role of a manager. It just has certain, responsibilities to arrange certain, things like how the team is working, approve, your costs and so on when you go to a trip. So there's some responsibilities, but there is no position that, hey, you need to do this because I told you. Well, there's always a discussion and dialogue, and there's some guidance, but a manager will never kind of push in a way on his or her opinion. They'll really ask you for your opinion and just a little bit guide, and maybe can say in the end, according to our strategy, unfortunately, maybe we need to do this and this, but I do still think that your opinion is very important, and we need to record it and consider in the future, because maybe we will be able at that point to embrace your idea. So flat structure is something that is more and more coming into the market, and considering the new generation and their, way of thinking, their desires, I think that will spread even more in the future, because young people don't want to be, pointed out with a finger, do this. No, this is changing, and that's why flat structures are really important. With that, I just want to emphasize one more thing here. That means that everyone in the team now takes responsibility. It's not just, I'll not do it before my manager come and approve things, or I will not do before my manager tell me to do so. No, everyone takes more responsibility to drive the change forward. And this is the new way of how the future will look like. And the last thing, bring the change. I really want you to believe in yourself that you can bring the change. And I saw so many good people with brilliant ideas who was just not communicating their idea. And just because somebody a little bit, let's say, more naive, sillier, was saying the idea because they was not afraid, everyone, there was no other choice. So everyone was following that maybe a little bit stupid idea. And in the end, people who had better idea, they was just complaining and saying, why we are following that idea? It's so stupid, we could do it better. No, we couldn't, because you didn't share it. So what I really want to, end up my session with is, when you have a brilliant idea that can transform others' life and boost this future to the next level, I really want to share that idea with others. And I think you have a great opportunity to do it here in Toastmasters International. Please share your ideas, be bold, and during today, keep this energy up, because you really, really need it. Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much, Elena. Let's give some applauses to her.